or have another print disability which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Around our area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York now continues. Your reader for this hour is Linda Lover. Reading from the Southtowns Bee. Raby resigns from East Aurora Village Board. Former trustee Grace Vigor returning to board. Village of East Aurora trustee Jeff Raby, Ph.D., has stepped down from his elected position on the 7-member board. Raby, an education professional and former longtime superintendent for the Depew Union Free School District, was first appointed to the board in 2023 by former Mayor Peter Mercurio, following the resignation of former trustee George Scheneman. He subsequently ran in the following village election unopposed and was elected to serve the remainder of Scheneman's term on the board in 2024. Village trustees earn an annual salary of $5,000. In a statement to the Southtowns Bee, Raby said that the decision was not made lightly, calling the opportunity to serve the community an honor and a privilege. Raby's resignation went into effect on June 2nd. I remain deeply committed to the future success of East Aurora and will continue to support our community as a resident and engaged citizen, Raby said. I sincerely thank the residents who placed their trust in me and afforded me the opportunity to serve. Raby's resignation comes after a new era for the village board, after former Town of Aurora Councilman Luke Wojcinski unseated incumbent Peter Mercurio in last March's nonpartisan village election. Alongside the mayoral seat, 3 new trustees, Timothy Bojanowski, Ryan Camp, and Chelsea Root, who campaigned with Wojcinski, were also elected to the board. As the village moves forward with obvious urgency under new leadership, it has become clear that differences exist between the current administration and me regarding vision, priorities, and approaches to governance and operational management, Raby said. While healthy debate and differing perspectives are important parts of public service, I believe it is in the best interest of both the village and myself to step aside at this time. During his time on the board, Raby, who was previously retired, returned to his roots in the school system, taking on interim superintendent positions with the West Seneca and Depew school districts, respectively. He was also recently appointed as an assistant professor at SUNY Fredonia and as the program coordinator of the university's educational leadership program, which prepares candidates for school and district-level leadership positions such as principal, director of special ed, and superintendent. Taking over Raby's term is Grace Vigor, a former village trustee whose seat was filled after she decided not to run for re-election alongside fellow trustee Molly Flynn, a manufacturing representative well known as the former owner of the now-defunct The Globe restaurant in East Aurora. A volunteer village firefighter and industrial technology professional, Vigor was sworn in during the village's June 1st meeting. Vigor's term will expire next April. I wish the village employees the very best as they continue to navigate their important work on behalf of our community, Raby said. The village board's next meeting is July 6th. Community Day kicks off next week in West Seneca. It's time for one of West Seneca's most popular annual events, and this year the 52nd West Seneca Community Days has a few extra surprises. The event runs from Thursday, June 25th through Saturday, June 27th at Veterans Park behind Town Hall and the Community Center, 1250 to 1300 Union Road. Community Days has been part of the West Seneca community for over 50 years, said West Seneca Councilman Robert Breedenstein. It gets bigger and better each year. The dozens and dozens of volunteers who give freely of their time and talents are the lifeblood of the annual summer event. This year will feature an extra night of fireworks at 10 p.m. Friday to help kick off the town's celebration of 250 years of America and 175 years of West Seneca. Also new this year is the introduction of Car Cruise Night from 3 to 9 p.m. Thursday. The cost is $10 per car, with each car receiving beverage tickets for the beer tent. Awards will be handed out, with all money going to the West Seneca Food Pantry. Vehicles should enter via Holland Avenue. For more information on the car cruise, contact Claudia at 716-997-3351 or Community Day Cruise at AOL.com. Also on Thursday, the 11th Annual West Seneca Community 5K Run will begin at 6:30. Registration is $35, with awards for the top and female finishers. Register at runsignup.com. An open beer tent after party with Flipside follows the race. The Midway will be open all 3 days with plenty of carnival games, activities, and rides from 6 to 10 p.m. Thursday and Friday, and noon to 10 p.m. Saturday. One of the many anticipated activities during Community Days is the giant parade that will take place at 2 p.m. on Saturday. The parade will start at West Seneca West Senior High School and travel east on Main Street to Union Road. It will take a left on Union, a left onto Legion Parkway, and travel down and end at the park. There will be more than $23,000 in prizes awarded for category winners. Nerds Gone Wild will perform in the beer tent from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Friday, with Hit and Run playing from 7:30 to 11:30 Saturday. The West Seneca Town Band will perform from 4 to 6 Saturday in the Lions Band Shell. The event winds down with the usual fireworks display at 10 p.m. Saturday. The Community Days event started in the 1970s when the town was planning its bicentennial celebration. That group of planners was spearheaded by Joan Lillies, who continues to be involved in the event to this day. The Civic and Patriotic Commission is a valued partner with the town, and we are grateful for their half-century of service to residents, Bridenstine said. Community Days is possible because of the incredible efforts of the Commission members. Here's an editorial from Michael Kearns, the Erie County Clerk. Be an educated boater. Know the rules of the water. As summer arrives in Erie County, boating season is officially underway from the Erie Basin Marina and Canal side to the Niagara River and the scenic waters near the Point Albino Lighthouse. Western New York offers endless opportunities for residents and visitors to enjoy our beautiful waterways. Just as motorists follow the rules of the road, boaters and jet skiers must also understand and follow the rules of the waterways to ensure everyone stays safe on the water. I encourage all recreational boaters to understand the risks, know the laws, and be properly prepared before heading out this season. New York State requires anyone operating a motorboat or personal watercraft who was born on or after May 1st, 1996, to successfully complete a state-approved boater safety course. Studies conducted by the National Association of State Boating Law Administrators show that nearly 70% of boating fatalities involve operators who had never taken a boating safety course. A list of approved classes can be found at the New York State Parks website, parksnewyork.gov/boating. State law also requires all motorized watercraft to be registered through the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles. Whether your boat is powered by a gas engine or electric motor, registration is required regardless of the vessel's size. Erie County residents are encouraged to renew local by completing their boat registration at an Erie County Auto Bureau branch, helping keep a portion of those fees here in our community. To register a boat, residents must complete the required application and provide proof of identity, date of birth, and ownership. To schedule an in-person appointment, you can visit erie.gov/clerk or call the Clerk's Outreach Center at 716-858-8864. Boaters should also remember that operating a vessel while impaired by alcohol or drugs is illegal and extremely dangerous. Alcohol remains a leading factor in boating fatalities nationwide, impairing judgment, coordination, and reaction time. New York State also imposes strict penalties for underage operators caught drinking while operating a vessel, including suspension or revocation of operating privileges. One of the simplest and most effective ways to stay safe on the water is by wearing a life jacket. Statistics show that the overwhelming majority of recreational boating drowning victims were not wearing one at the time of the accident. Wearing a life jacket and ensuring every passenger does the same can save lives. Our waterways are one of Western New York's greatest summer attractions. By boating responsibly, following safety laws, and looking out for one another, everyone can enjoy a safe and memorable season on the water. Boat smart, boat responsibly, and have a safe summer. For more information on registering your watercraft and/or trailer, visit erie.gov/clerk or call the Clerk's Outreach Center at 716-858-8864. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 14 minutes after the hour. Here's another editorial. This one is from Patrick Burke, the 142nd District, New York State Assemblyman. New law would address backroom political deals. George Carlin was right. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. He was talking about a simple idea. The game is rigged, and the rigging happens in back rooms, out of sight of regular people. Carlin would have recognized a timeless political tradition. When a vacancy opens in an elected office, the instinct of politicians is not openness, it's secrecy. The conversations happen behind closed doors. The decisions get made by a handful of insiders. Then the public is presented with a done deal. West Senecans know exactly what I'm talking about. Over the last several years, we've watched a series of appointments unfold with little public involvement. First, a town court vacancy was filled through a process that lacked transparency and public input. Then, after voters rejected that hand-picked candidate at the ballot box, the same small group appointed that same individual as town prosecutor. Once again, there was no opportunity for public comment and no public discussion, just another closed-door process hidden behind the euphemism of executive session. Days later, the appointment collapsed when Erie County's chief law enforcement official refused to approve the nomination because of clear conflicts of interest. Residents were left asking a simple question: how did this happen? Fast forward 6 months, and West Senecans are asking the same question. The town once again filled a vacancy with no public application process, no public interviews, and little opportunity for residents to understand who was being considered and why. This time for a seat on the town board itself. But let's be honest, West Seneca may be an extreme example, but it isn't the only one. Across New York, power brokers of every political persuasion prefer making appointments in private. Fewer questions, less scrutiny, more control. Who loses? The people. A vacant elected official office doesn't belong to a political party. It doesn't belong to a supervisor, mayor, county executive, or legislative majority. It belongs to the voters. That's why I've introduced the Open Process for Elected Nominations and Appointments Act to bring transparency and public participation to the vacancy filling process statewide. My bill, the Open Appointments Act, would require a public notice of vacancies, a minimum of 2-week application period, public disclosure of applicants and their qualifications, an open meeting where candidates can address both the appointing body and the public, a public discussion of the reasons for selecting a candidate, and a separate public vote. None of this prevents local governments from choosing the person they believe is best qualified. It simply requires them to do it in the open. When I served in the Erie County Legislature, vacancies were filled through public interviews where anyone could watch candidates answer tough questions. The Buffalo Common Council does the same thing. Sunlight isn't a burden. Transparency isn't an obstacle. Public participation isn't an inconvenience. They're the foundation of democracy. When government conducts the people's business, the people deserve a seat at the table. If we're filling an elected office, voters should be able to watch the process unfold from beginning to end. Here's what's going on in the community. Eaters Anonymous. Chronic Compulsive Eaters Anonymous will host a free community informational meeting from 10 a.m. to noon Saturday, June 27th at the Elma Public Library, 1860 Bowen Road, Elma. For more information, email gratefullandrecovered@gmail.com. Museum tours. Open house tours of the Joel's House Museum, 4287 South Buffalo Street, Orchard Park, will be held from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturdays, June 20th, September 5th, September 19th, October 3rd, and October 17th. The Joel's House is a carefully restored example of Italianate architecture and is on the National Register of Historic Places. Tours are free and open to the public. Call 716-662-2185 to arrange a tour. Chicken barbecue. Orchard Park, American Legion Post 567, 5784 Ellis Road, will hold a Chivetta's Chicken Barbecue from 2 to 6 p.m. every Wednesday, now through November 4th. Drive-through or eat-in cost is $16 for chicken or $23 for half rack of ribs, cash or charge. For more information, call the Post at 716-662-9780. Writer's Workshop. A new 6-week session of the Writer's Workshop for adults is slated at Dog Ears Bookstore and Cafe, 688 Abbott Road, Buffalo. Classes will be held from 6 to 8 p.m. Thursday, June 25th, skipping July 2nd, and then continuing on the next 5 Thursdays. All participants will present current writing efforts that will be gently critiqued. Light refreshments are included, and the cost is $75 for all 6 Thursday evening meetings. To register, call the bookstore at 716-823-2665 or email John Schreier at jmarkschrei@aol.com. Pet loss. The SPCA serving Erie County is launching a new pet loss support group designed to provide comfort, understanding, and connection for grieving pet owners. Beginning Thursday, June 18th, the support group will meet from 3 to 4 on the first and third Thursday of each month at the SPCA serving Erie County, 300 Harlem Road, West Seneca. The support group is open to anyone 18 years of age or older coping with the loss of a pet. There is no fee to attend and registration is not required. For more information, call the SPCA at 716-875-7360. Chicken Barbecue. Peregrine Senior Living is hosting a Weidner drive-through chicken barbecue from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, June 19th at 101 Sterling Drive, Orchard Park. Dinner includes a half chicken, coleslaw, potatoes, and dinner roll. Pre-sale tickets are $17, cash or Venmo, and day of tickets are $20. For more information, call 716-675-1092. Plymouth Crossroads, 3566 Clinton Street, West Seneca, will hold an open house from noon to 4 p.m. Sunday, June 28th. Guests are invited to tour the home and learn about the important work performed there. Plymouth Crossroads is a 501(c)(3) not-for-profit organization which provides residential and support services for runaway and homeless youth in an atmosphere supporting their dignity, respect, and self-sufficiency. RSVP to N. Schiffmacher at PlymouthCrossroads.org by June 23rd. See www.PlymouthCrossroads.org for more information. Garden Art Sale. The Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens will host its annual garden art sale from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, June 27th, and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday, June 28th, on the front lawn of the Botanical Gardens at 2655 South Park Avenue, Buffalo. Featuring more than 70 artists, the Garden Art Sale offers pieces designed to enhance gardens and outdoor spaces, including sculpture, metalwork, paintings, woodwork, found art, ceramics, planters, and more. For more information, call the Botanical Gardens at 716-827-1584. Teach Me to Fish. The Erie County Federation of Sportsmen's Clubs is hosting a free Teach Me to Fish event designed to introduce children and families to the fundamentals of fishing in a fun, hands-on outdoor setting. The event is from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Saturday, June 27th at Chestnut Ridge Park. Rods and reels will be available to borrow, though participants are welcome to bring their own equipment. No fishing license is required, and worms will be provided for bait. Children ages 15 and under will receive a prize for participating. All children must be accompanied by an adult. Pre-registration is required at ecfsc.org. Networking event. The West Seneca Chamber of Commerce will hold its next one-minute networking event from 9 to 10, Tuesday, June 23rd at Clark's Grove, 1245 Seneca Creek Road, West Seneca. Doors will open at 8:45 and light refreshments will be provided. The event is open to both chamber members and non-members, and reservations are required. In addition to having a one-minute spotlight, attendees have extra time to network with other business and organizational leaders following the meeting. For more information or to RSVP, call the West Seneca Chamber of Commerce at 716-674-4900, extension 1, or email director@westseneca.org. Kiwanis Craft Show. The West Seneca Kiwanis Club will hold its annual art and craft show from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, July 11th at the West Seneca Town Hall Campus, 1250 Union Road, West Seneca. Anyone interested in selling your wares at this year's show should email wskcraftshow@gmail.com. Chicken dinner. Winchester Fire Company, 514 Harlem Road, will host a drive-through Wiedner's Chicken Dinner fundraiser from 11:30 until dawn on Sunday, June 28th. Dinners are $15 and include a half chicken, potato, slaw, and a roll with butter. For more information, call the Fire Hall at 716-824-2565. Reunion. The West Seneca class of 1962 will hold its annual reunion luncheon from noon to 4 p.m. Saturday, July 11th at Ebenezer Ale House, 4348 Seneca Street, West Seneca. For more information, call 716-432-3103. East Seneca Golf. East Seneca Fire Company will hold a golf classic fundraiser on Monday, July 13th at Chestnut Hill Golf Course with a shotgun start at 10 a.m. Fee for a team of 4 is $400, which includes golf, lunch at the Turn, dinner, and after party at the Fire Hall, skill prizes and contests with raffle drawings. All proceeds benefit the fire company. To sign up for the event or for more information, call Norm Locker Jr. at 716-392-3818. Yoga Kids Club. The Sunny Days Happy Hearts Yoga Kids Club will host 4 sessions of yoga with Christina Marie from 9 to 11 a.m. August 3rd to 6th at West Seneca West Elementary School, 1397 Orchard Park Road. Activities will include circle time and welcome, breathwork and warm-up games, yoga flow and partner poses, healthy snack, creative craft, and reflection and community time. Cost is $115. Call 716-677-3107 for more information. Golf Tournament. The Lancaster Depew Elma Chamber of Commerce will host its annual golf tournament on Monday, June 22nd at the Fox Valley Club, 6161 Genesee Street, Lancaster. The event offers a full day of golf, food, and entertainment. Registration is available online at the Chamber's website, www.wnychamber.com. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 31 minutes after the hour. Lunch program. Through Erie County, seniors over the age of 60 and their spouses can enjoy a hot meal and companionship every weekday at noon at a suggested donation of $3.50 per meal at any of the area senior centers. Call the Aurora, Orchard Park, or West Seneca Senior Center to reserve a space 1 week in advance or in person. And here's what the menu is. Monday, June 22nd, was chicken, vegetable casserole, mashed potatoes, green beans, dinner roll, and applesauce. Tuesday, June 23rd, welcome summer. Mandarin chicken and sunflower salad with dressing, wheat dinner roll, chocolate-covered ice cream bar. Wednesday, June 24th, chili con carne with cheddar, carrots, apple juice, chef salad with dressing, corn muffin, and fresh orange. Thursday, June 25th, Polish sausage with sauerkraut and mustard on a bun, scalloped potatoes, peas with red pepper, fruit cocktail, and chocolate milk. Friday, June 26th, Salisbury steak with gravy, garlic mashed potatoes, mixed vegetables, wheat bread, and sugar cookies. And eating at home. Frozen to-go meals can be ordered by calling 716-675-9288. If you need meals delivered, call 716-858-8526 to speak to New York Connects, or 716-822-2002 for Meals on Wheels. The Aurora Senior Center, 101 King Street, Suite A, East Aurora, is open daily from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. except holidays. The phone number is 716-652-7934. Seniors will find a wide array of services and activities available through the Senior Center. The mission of the Town of Aurora Senior Center is to help older adults remain healthy and active through participation in recreational pursuits and to provide the leadership and advocacy to ensure the availability of leisure and recreational opportunities. Activities and programs at the Senior Center are open to anyone over the age of 55. The Going Places van is available Tuesday through Friday, except holidays, to Town of Aurora residents over the age of 62. All requests received will be evaluated with a priority on medical and health-related trips. The suggested donation is $8 each way per person. The Rural Transit Van is also available by calling 716-662-8378 or visit the Rural Transit Service website at www.ruraltransitservice.org. Rural Transit Service, or RTS, is a nonprofit transportation service that provides transportation to senior citizens, low or moderate income individuals, and clients with disabilities. Eligible residents are transported to dialysis clinics, medical offices, physical therapy, pharmacies, colleges, workplaces, senior centers, nutrition sites, adult daycares, grocery stores, banks, salons and barbers, etc., with medical trips taking priority. The Rural Transit Vans run between 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, except holidays. There are many programs available, including line dancing, knitting, tai chi, mahjong, trivia, euchre, exercise, sewing, ceramics, chess, dominoes, Wii bowling, yoga, china painting, Scrabble, drawing and painting, quilting, and pinochle. Trips in 2026 include art, Crepes and Canal Cruise, August 5th, Batavia Downs Gaming, August 17th, Take Flight in Niagara Falls and more, September 9th, and Damn Good Trip, October 14th. Visit the center's website at www.townofauroranewyork.gov/department/senior center. Orchard Park. The Orchard Park Senior Center, 4520 California Road, Orchard Park, is open daily from 8:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, except holidays. Phone number is 716-662-6452. The center offers a wide variety of activities of interest. Seniors over the age of 55 may participate in many activities offered at the Senior Center, including Safe Driver Academy, bocce seasonal, exercise classes, cardio drumming, Club 99 exercise, yoga, tai chi, men's and women's fitness, Zumba, stretch and bar, dinner club, book club, games, dominoes, chess, mahjong, shuffleboard, cornhole, and pool, billiards. Guest speakers, mind aerobics, bingo, movies and documentaries, art classes, sketch, watercolor, beginner watercolor, and try me watercolor, cards, bridge, euchre, hand and foot, pinochle, dancing, line dance, tap and ballroom, sewing club, fitness room, and travel club. Hillcrest and Orchard Park seniors. Town of Orchard Park residents membership fee is waived with proof of residency. Proof of Town of Orchard Park residency accepted. New York driver's license with OP residence, OP town tax bill, utility bill with OP address, your name listed. For non-residents, the general membership is $45 annual fee. Fitness membership have a $55 annual fee, but can be waived with Silver Sneakers, Silver and Fit, Active and Fit, or Renew Active. The NCOA created resources and support for older adults living alone, a guide which includes practical tips and resource recommendations from geriatric health experts. And now some local news from The Sun. LSCSD announces new elementary school principals. The Lakeshore Central School District has announced the appointment of 2 administrators to lead its elementary buildings for the upcoming school year. Kimberly Oakes has been named the new principal of A.J. Schmidt Elementary School, and Brandon Pefk has been named the new principal of J.T. Wall Elementary School. The appointments follow search processes aimed at finding collaborative, student-centered leaders to guide the district's elementary programs. Both incoming principals bring over 2 decades of diverse educational experience to their respective roles. We are incredibly fortunate to bring 2 leaders of this caliber into our elementary buildings, said Superintendent Phil Johnson. Kimberly and Brandon are seasoned professionals who understand that strong relationships, a safe environment, and rigorous instruction are the keys to helping our youngest students thrive. They are joining an educational team of faculty and staff, and I look forward to seeing the positive impact of their leadership across our community. Oakes transitions to Lakeshore from the Salamanca City Central School District, where she spent the last 5 years as an elementary principal and assistant principal. Her 20-year career includes work as a classroom teacher, instructional coach, director, and data specialist. She holds New York State School Building and School District Leader certifications, along with a master's degree in curriculum, instruction, and assessment. I am excited to partner with the dedicated faculty, staff, and families at A.J. Schmidt Elementary, Oakes said. My focus has always been on nurturing positive school cultures and using data-driven insights to elevate classroom instruction. I look forward to working together to ensure a safe, supportive space where every single student can grow and achieve. Pafk arrives at Lakeshore with 25 years of educational experience, transitioning from the Orchard Park Central School District, where he served as a high school principal and middle school assistant principal. A former music educator and fine arts director, Pafk holds a master's degree in music education and an advanced certificate in school building leadership. I am absolutely thrilled to step into the role of principal at J.T. Waugh Elementary, Pafk said. From the moment I accepted the position, I felt the incredible warmth and pride that defines the Lakeshore Central School District. I can't wait to welcome our students through the doors, connect with our families, and dive into a fantastic school year ahead. The district also thanked Julie Schwab for her years of service as principal of A.J. Schmidt Elementary School ahead of her retirement, and Eric Rydell for his leadership as interim principal at J.T. Wall Elementary School during the transition. HCSD's new $59 million capital project to focus on reimagining art and music spaces at high school and middle school. Capital Endeavor also features 8-lane pool at high school capable of hosting Section 6 events. Sounds like a great next step. Those words from Hamburg Board of Education President Cameron Hall encapsulated the mood of Hamburg Central School District officials on June 9th as they officially announced the district's next capital project, Horizon 2027, designed to reimagine art and music spaces at Hamburg High School and Hamburg Middle School, while also adding an 8-lane pool to the high school that will have the ability to hold Section 6 events. The capital endeavor is expected to be $59 million, with $57 million covered by the issuance of debt and $2 million coming from the voter-approved Capital Reserve Fund or other available funds. There will be no additional taxpayer impact, officials said. The capital project, presented by officials from Turner Construction and Gordon W. Jones Associates Architects, features work at the middle school, high school, and some upgrades that will be district-wide. The high school work will include an art wing reconstruction, music wing reconstruction, pool reconstruction work, additional parking and tennis court reconstruction, multi-purpose field reconstruction at the center of the athletic complex, and toilet room reconstruction. As part of the reconstruction at the high school, there will be the construction of an 8-lane pool with ADA-compliant lane access and bleacher seating for 300-plus spectators. Superintendent Thomas Adams said with the renovations and bleacher seating, the hope would be to host Section 6 events. In December, when early details about the capital project were shared, Louis Rosario, Jr., a project manager with Gordon W. Jones Associates Architects, told the board that there were 3 options for the pool renovation work. The first option would be a 4-lane ADA-compliant pool at both the high school and middle school. The second option would be a 6-lane ADA-compliant pool at the middle school with bleacher seating for 300 people. And the third option would be an 8-lane ADA-compliant pool at the high school with bleacher seating for 300 people. Rosario stressed at that time that the 8-lane pool at the high school would be the best option for the district. This plan would also include an infill of the current middle school pool for additional educational space and would also allow for the music and art wing reconstruction at both the middle and high school. At the middle school, similar to the high school, there will be art wing reconstruction, music wing reconstruction, toilet room reconstruction work, along with pool area infill work for additional classroom space and technology wing reconstruction. I think it's really important that we hit those art and music spaces at the middle school and high school, said Jessica Reyna, vice president of the board. I love that they will be updated and modernized. The capital project will also provide district-wide safety and security upgrades, including entry point access, continued door hardening, and fire alarm systems. Also occurring district-wide will be parking lot and infrastructure upgrades and mechanical systems and controls upgrades. Brent Jordan, Assistant Superintendent of Technology and Information Services, noted that the district's last capital project, Discover 2021, had a long list of items that the district wanted to be part of the endeavor, including the pool renovation. But during the course of that project, Jordan explained that things went sideways with the market and the cost of everything. We know that everything could not fit, said Jordan, who added that this project fulfills the wants that didn't make it into the last capital project. While not viewing Horizon 2027 as Part 2 of Discover 2021, Adams did note that the project is finishing some of the commitments that were made in the earlier capital project. We want to be able to finish that work that we were hoping to do before, Adams said. The project is expected to be submitted to the New York State Education Department this summer for a preliminary review. A public vote on the capital project is projected for October 2027. If the project is approved by voters, bidding on the capital endeavor will begin in fall 2029. Construction would start in the late fall of 2029, with completion of construction expected by fall of 2033. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 43 minutes after the hour. Brant couple pleads guilty to animal cruelty charges following seizure of more than 200 animals from the farm. A Town of Brant couple have pleaded guilty to animal cruelty charges following the seizure of more than 200 animals from a Brant farm. Bonnie George, 75, and Donald George, 77, each entered a guilty plea to 2 counts of overdriving, torturing, and injuring animals, failure to provide proper sustenance, a Class A misdemeanor under New York State Agriculture and Markets Law. An investigation began after a dog control officer contacted the SPCA serving Erie County after receiving an anonymous complaint about animals living in unsafe conditions in the town of Brant. On November 19th, SPA investigators conducted an inspection at the defendant's farm on Brant Farnham Road, where they observed neglected animal and unsanitary conditions. On November 20th, SPA investigators executed a search warrant at the property and seized a total of 216 animals. The defendants failed to provide necessary food, water, and care to the majority of their farm and domestic animals, which included 119 goats, 47 chickens, 18 ducks and geese, 11 cats, 6 sheep, and 6 dogs. The animals were found in unsanitary conditions without proper access to food and water. Investigators also found multiple deceased animals on the property, which included goats, deer, and fowl. Brant Town Court Justice Jeff Geyer, who previously presided over the case, ordered the surviving animals to be forfeited to the custody of the SPCA serving Erie County. During the investigation, the defendants intentionally obstructed the administration of law and prevented a public servant from performing an official function. SPCA investigators observed 2 horses on the property during their initial inspection on November 19th. When the search warrant was executed the following day, the horses were no longer on the property. The defendants refused to provide information on their location, which prevented investigators from performing a health and welfare check. The horses have not been located. The Georges face a maximum of 364 days in jail when they are sentenced at 6:30 p.m. Monday, September 14th. They remain released on their own recognizance. At the arraignment, the Erie County District Attorney Office requested that the court impose a temporary securing order that prohibits the defendants from owning, harboring, or having custody or control of any animals while the case is pending prosecution. The temporary securing order remains in place. Dispute over owed money ends in multiple charges for Hamburg man. Town of Hamburg police were called to State Street on June 10th for a hit-and-run accident that had occurred following a verbal dispute. The victim told police that his friend, Andrew Bialotta, 41, of the town of Hamburg, had arrived at the victim's house unannounced looking for money that the victim owed, the report said. Bialotta parked his truck directly in front of the victim's vehicle, preventing the victim from leaving the driveway, police said. The confrontation escalated, prompting the victim to leave in his vehicle onto State Street. Bialotta then put his truck in reverse and accelerated down the driveway, causing a right-angle collision, the report said. There was $2,000 worth of damage to the victim's vehicle. There is video of the incident. Bialotta was charged with felony criminal mischief in the 2nd degree, unsafe backing, and leaving the scene of a property damage accident. Hamburg man hit with several charges after stealing basketball from children. Town of Hamburg police responded to a park on Loring Avenue on June 7th regarding a stolen basketball. Police were told that a group of children were playing basketball in the park when they were approached by Santina Harris, 35, of the town of Hamburg, who asked about their glow-in-the-dark basketball. The man forcibly took the basketball and gave the children one that he had. He then returned to his residence on Loring Avenue, the report said. When police met with Harris, he was reportedly confrontational and said the basketball came from his cousin, authorities said. After one of the victims wanted to press charges, police attempted to take Harris into custody, but he resisted. A physical altercation with officers followed, the report said. The man was eventually taken into custody. He was charged with felony robbery in the 3rd degree, harassment in the 2nd degree, petty larceny, unlawful possession of fireworks, and resisting arrest. Visually impaired Frontier High School student builds robot model car from scratch. Aidan Bishop was born with optic nerve hypoplasia, a congenital condition where the optic nerve which connects to the eye is underdeveloped. It is a leading cause of vision impairment in children. Despite being 80 to 90% blind, the Frontier High School junior has created an autonomous robot model car for his computer-aided design class that he designed, built, and coded himself. I really love working with computers. From an early age, my favorite core subject was probably math, Bishop said. Eventually, because of my visual impairment, I started working with computers more. His robot car has motors with the wheels attached, and the car is programmed to go where Bishop directs it. The hardest part about this is writing the code. All the code is on the Arduino board. I've got to tell the motor driver what to do and then tell each motor what to do, Bishop said. It's relatively detailed and it's going to get more detailed as I work on it more. For coding, I pretty much use screen magnification software. In essence, you're typing in arguments to tell the computer what and when to do it. There's a very specific syntax involved. Bishop uses a cane to move about the hallways of the high school and said he gets around pretty good. I've been here for 3 years. I have a set path every day, but even if I have to deviate from that, I can, he said. He came to me with the idea of building a car, and he knew exactly how he wanted to build it, added technology and engineering teacher George Ouimet. I told him to sketch me out some plans. He had all his components, and he knew exactly how he was going to build it. So I let him rip, and he's been working on it ever since. Aidan does not let his disability hinder him in any way. He knows when he needs help, and he knows when he doesn't need help. And he will always try to do it himself first, which is an awesome trait about him. He's a really, really good kid. Bishop is involved with the cybersecurity and networking program at the Harkness Career and Technical Center at Erie-Wonbossis and may follow that as a career path. Pinehurst's annual art show keeps getting bigger and better. Pinehurst Elementary School hosts an annual K-5 art show led by art teacher Vanessa Quinn that is truly something to see. Approximately 560 students each had on display at least 2 to 3 pieces displayed from a variety of mediums, such as drawing, painting, ceramics, and stitching. There were also digital aspects where QR codes for screen apps allowed students to make their art come to life or add themselves into their piece, and an iPad playing on a loop stop-motion videos. The art turns the school's hallways into a colorful, interactive, and immersive gallery. One of the highlights is the experimental glow gallery, where an entire hall is under black light and brings select artwork to life in vibrant colors. Frontier High School AP U.S. History classes present Living Wax Museum in Visit to Big Tree Elementary School. Advanced Placement U.S. History Grade 11 classes from Frontier High School presented their Living Wax Museum on June 4th at Big Tree Elementary School. The museum is a collection of visual displays where students, dressed as historical individuals, tell all about the individuals they are portraying. When the visitor presses the play button, students come to life and perform a variety of one-minute presentations. The goal of this project is to encourage interest in various areas of history and culture while building a relationship between high school and elementary school students, said Frontier High School social studies teacher Christopher Felgiano. The museum takes place at one of the elementary schools in the district each June. The students and the historical figures they represented were Isaiah Ali, who played Benjamin Franklin, Kaylee Andrusko, who was Judy Garland, Emily Bella, who was Sally Ride, Olivia Bellagamba was Mary Lou Retton, Aidan Butler was Billy Joel, Cullen Bishop Marriott was Norman Rockwell, Addison Camp was Elizabeth Hamilton, James Connors was Frank Sinatra, Griffin Davis portrayed Arnold Palmer, Alexis Donisi was Eleanor Roosevelt, Chloe Gill was Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, Braden Gizzy was Derek Jeter, Caitlin Greaser was Marilyn Monroe, Luke Grosso was Chris Cornell, Sarah Gouchard was Misty Copeland, Aidan Hartle was Theodore Roosevelt, Kaylee Hart was Georgia O'Keeffe, Reagan Healy was Amelia Earhart, Braden Hull was Michael Phelps, Caden Johnson was John Marshall, Ava Lavelle was Jennifer Doudna, Maddox McKenna was Colonel Hal Moore, Nicholas Mitri was John Muir, Megan Murray was Michelle Obama, John O'Connor was Elvis Presley, Avery Papucci was Betsy Ross, Lillian Porter was Meriwether Lewis, Kendall Riggs was Desmond Doss, Sarwar Robb was Muhammad Ali, Braden Roberts was Ronald Reagan, Joseph Rogers was Walt Disney, Tanner Rutz was Jimi Hendrix, Evan Ryerson Carnes was Stan Lee, Austin Schultz was Kurt Cobain, Xavier Snyder was Henry Ford, Mackenzie Stack was Leslie Gore, Coralie Texter was Jane Addams, Mason Torado was Bruno Mars, Trent Wakulonis was Steve Jobs, Cole Wyszynski was Thomas Edison, and Jonathan Williams was Michael Jackson. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour has been Linda Lover. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Ampol Eagle. At 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. And following that, 5 o'clock, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. Stay with us for these readings and more throughout the day. following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability.